What's good, everybody? It is Thursday, April 13th, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. Now, speaking of power, my goodness, where I'm sitting right now, last night, I've never been in a hurricane before. That was as close as I've ever come. It's insane. So bear with us today. If the tech goes out a little bit, it's bananas down here where me and the counselor are at. Now, last night, kind of a ho-hum day, 6-5 at the brand. But if you watch me and M Squared on CBS Sports HQ, then you cashed a bunch of tickets there. It's the Early Edge Takeover. And I'm telling you, you got to watch us everywhere. And we're always telling you where we're going to be at. Now, with all that being said, my man Matt in the chat said it best. Sometimes light days can be very profitable days. I'm paraphrasing. So just because there's no NBA today, never fret. We got you covered top to bottom. And guess who is in the chat, or is going to be in the chat in a matter of moments, because that's where he belongs. My man Bucket. You have any questions for him? Go ahead and throw them in there real-time Europa Conference League action today. So with all that being said, let's bring in the stars of the show. You know him, you love him, and first and foremost, now he's only about 8 miles from where I'm sitting right now, and hopefully he's here for the entire show. But Counselor of Cash, Sia Nejad, how bad was the storm last night?
So I've been living in Fort Lauderdale. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I've been living in Fort Lauderdale for 15, 16 years, downtown Fort Lauderdale, through a lot of hurricanes. This is the worst flooding we've ever seen. It's been named, I saw some headlines, 1 in 1,000 event. And that's what the weather people say when they completely swing and miss on a storm and don't even talk about it until after it happens. But here we are. Hopefully the connection is good. Hopefully I can give out some picks. If I fall off, obviously you guys will cover me and give out my picks for me.
100%, because we're a crew for a reason. Now, next, last week, I got to tell you, I'm staring at my phone, and I see Kelvin Gastelum or Chris Curtis. Oh, my man Danny Brasco. He was on the right side, which meant I cashed the ticket. Danny Brasco, another big week in the UFC. Welcome back to the Early Edge.
Thank you, Coach. Good to be here, as always, with you guys. Fantastic fight that was. Gastelum Curtis, fight of the night. So I'm glad you cashed that ticket. And we got some great fights on this UFC card. I can't wait to get into it with you guys.
All right. We can't wait as well. You talk about calling in the lefty. Called in from the pin at the last minute. He is our 5-tool player. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, 8 floors below. AB, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Sia, Danny Brasco, everybody in the Early Edge chat. Loving it. Let me tell you what. Look, I went all the way to the top, just like our man Sia, the counselor of cash. I already feel more intelligent, and after the show is over, I'm going to walk. Well, I'm going to drive. I'm not walking anywhere. I'm going to drive to the courthouse, start arguing some cases. So there we go. Sia, just in honor of you.
All right. Now, sometimes in the chat, you guys write stuff and you just don't know. Steven says, where's Allie? It's the last. You don't have to swear at us. In the NHL, for Christ's sake. Steven, she was on the show today. She's sick. She couldn't make it. Nothing we could do. But relax. We still got a pick from her. Damn.
Oh, hey, no, let's get more swearing.
I guess so. I guess so. Oh, how about Snug the Cat? Is Danny Brasco actually Amax minus that smelly Yankees? Interesting. All right, let's get into it. We're not doing any storylines today. We're going straight to fade or to follow. Kind of a limited amount of games today in the major leagues, but some really good teams are playing. So, gentlemen, if you don't mind, here's where we're going to start. The Reds, minus 125 favorite over the Phillies. The Yankees almost made them a pick over the Twins at home. A lot of teams had to travel after playing yesterday. And then San Diego, they're minus 155 favorites over the Milwaukee Brewers. Sia, we're going to start with you because I don't know how long you're going to last. Of these three, which favorite are you following to cover?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with the Yankees here. I mean, the pitching matchup here is questionable, I think, a little bit on both ends, but I'm going to go with the Yankees' power. They're going to win that game.
All right. Danny Brasco, what about you?
I almost never give out the Yankees because, as you see, I'm clearly a fan, so I never want bias to inform my pick. But I'm going to agree with Sia here. I just think Brito is a legit prospect. The pitching matchup is a little off, and the Yankees historically beat up on the Twins, so I'll take them even as a kind of juiced favorite.
All right, so we've got a couple of Yankees. I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but Jeff says AB is your best capper that goes by initials.
It's excellent analysis.
It's
now,
great analysis.
If we could add some swearing to that, yeah, it'd be perfect.
AB, who are you selecting here? Who are you following?
I'll tell you what, you know what? We can't go by initials, but I'm going to go with the Reds here. All right. Minus 125 at home against the Phillies. The Reds quietly are one of the best on-base percentage teams in Major League Baseball, and they bring them around too. They're over 33% in getting batters on base. I think they're going to continue to do it today. And, Coach, would you like a nugget?
I would love a Chick-fil-A nugget on a Thursday. I'm starving.
Got one for you right here. The Reds have played 5 night games so far this year. The Reds have hit the over in 5 night games this year. So just something to think about.
Ooh, something to think about today. Reds, Phillies, and there is day baseball all over the place. So be ready for that. Also, a little bonus. In addition to buckets being in the chat, A-Mags must have had his ears burning because now my man is in the chat, and he says, Danny Brasco's way more handsome. He doesn't hide behind a hat. But if you have a question for A-Mags, and some of you already have, go ahead and put them into the chat, and he will answer them in real time. Also, do not forget, hit that like button for me. You've already subscribed. We have so many subscriptions now, but I need you to hit that like button every single day. Now, so we made the fade or follow, but now it's time to pick the prop. But before we do that, as I told you, we are taking over CBS Sports HQ every single day.
Get breaking news,
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
highlights, and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in Ford championship history. We're down to the final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Your boy will be on today. We're talking futures. We're talking NBA first series, values, all that kind of stuff today. I will be on at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, gentlemen, it's time to pick the prop. It's time to figure out which player, because these have become incredibly popular. People love betting these. Paul Goldschmidt, plus 325. Vlad, plus 475. And Yandy Diaz with the Rays, who've hit over 30 home runs in their first 12 games. They're raking. So, Counselor, who are we going with today?
Well, I told you that Chris Sale yesterday was going to be giving out runs Oprah Winfrey style. I have a feeling Vince Velasquez might as well. So I'm going to go with Paul Goldschmidt. Maybe a couple souvenirs for the fans from him at plus 325. I like it.
Plus 325 for Paul Goldschmidt. Danny Brasco, what say you?
Man, I like the way Sia's thinking today. He's on it. I got to agree with Goldie. He has good numbers off Vince Velasquez. And Velasquez last season had some of the worst exit velocity against. People crack him. So if Goldie squares one up, we could see it going over the fence. Even though it's chalk at plus 325, I think he's got the best shot to go yard today.
Right now, you just went right over Bucket's head in the chat when you start talking about exit velocity. He's like, what the hell is that? AB, what say you?
Well, all right. So the answer is Paul Goldschmidt because our man Vince Velasquez is going to get mashed all day long today. But you know what? I'll go Yandy Diaz here against the Red Sox. You look at what the Rays have done. I don't know if anybody's paid attention, but they started off quite a little above pedestrian so far this year. And they were on a mash fest the last 2 games. Yesterday, Diaz was legitimately the only one that wasn't putting up extra base hits. So you know what? Give me that 550. I'm going to roll with our man Diaz here.
Yeah, and I'm going to roll with you, AB, because right now, over 30 home runs in their first 12 games. This is a pretty good bet. But remember, these are fun bets. Just sprinkle a little bit. I don't want to read any tweets that, Coach, that home run prop killed me yesterday. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Well, I was going to say, it'll be Vlad with like 6 home runs today. So, yeah.
You know that's right.
Coach,
real quick. Yeah, yes.
Coach, that's like somebody saying a first-round leader prop killed them. It's like in golf. It's like you guys got to relax on those bets a little bit.
Sprinkle.
A little sprinkle.
Just a little sprinkle. Julio says, hey, Coach, when you mention you have a site play, is it a pick from the site that you're just randomly picking, or is it a grade A pick on the site? Julio, we'll go into a game and randomly pick it. The reason we don't say, it's a grade A pick, that changes throughout the day. It fluctuates. If it gets to a number that the sim says it's a grade A pick, it will be. So we don't focus completely on those, but we do always give out picks from a capper on the site or simulations. Hopefully that helps just a little bit. Now, we're about to get into our board, and we have a full board. I'm talking basketball a little bit, baseball, hockey, soccer. Oh, wait, there will be no soccer today. Even though Buckets is in the chat, he went into business for himself yesterday. There is no way after speaking to him that he would ever do that again. So no soccer picks on the show today. Sorry, Buckets, you're shut out. Now, speaking of soccer, this week, an incredibly important week for us here at CBS. The launch of Galazzo.
Absolutely magisterial here.
Artilharia do Campeonato Brasileiro.
Colpisce ancora. Golazo.
What? I apologize. I am reading in the chat in real time. I can't even believe he did this. I swear I didn't know he was going to do this. Buckets just wrote, Coach would never allow me back on the show today after he threw off my flow yesterday. What? And then, so I'll give you a pick here in the chat. And what? Gent, West Ham, both teams to score -110, Europa Conference, 12:45.
Coach.
What?
Buckets has gone completely in business for himself.
Yes.
I've never even seen this level of disrespect in my entire career. For him to put I'm going to stop. You guys want to tail the pick? But I'm not going to give it any more life.
This is Shawn Michaels level going into business for himself.
I don't even understand it. I thought he liked his career that I gave him. It was all me.
Hey, you know who loves Coach? No, you know who loves Buckets getting in trouble, don't you?
Who?
EC. So you get off his ass.
That's very true. Right now, EC's like, yes, Buckets is in trouble. Don't worry, EC.
He hacked into his account.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, now he writes, he can't stop me in capital letters.
That's Buckets.
All right. All right. Let's forget about Buckets for a second, which should be easy to do. And let's get into our board. Counselor, of course, I'm coming to you first because so far the tech gods have been with us. So what do we like today?
Yeah, I have an official play and I have a lean. The only reason the lean isn't an official play, and I'll just give you a look behind the curtain, I need certain internet access to my computer specifically, or at least my iPad. I can't do certain things on my phone. So there was a second play I want to suggest, but it's not an official play. The official play is Tommy Fleetwood. This is a round 1 3-ball. It starts after noon, 12 Eastern Standard Time. So you still have a couple hours on this one. It's Tommy Fleetwood in a 3-ball, -110. Over Adam Long and Doc Redman. This should be at most books. I've noticed this 3-ball, all the 3-balls have been kind of similar. I looked for a matchup. I didn't love a matchup. So what I did here is I took two guys that I don't think are really nearly as competitive as Tommy Fleetwood. They've actually been good at the RBC Heritage. What I mean by that is Adam Long and Doc Redman. They've been okay at the RBC Heritage historically, but recent history has been very unkind to both of these guys. Tommy Fleetwood, his game has been pretty good. He's kind of just waffling between average and slightly above average, but he is the better golfer here. And -110 is a very good number. I noticed it was -110 at DraftKings. At FanDuel, I believe it was -125. I still like it there. I wouldn't pay like -135, -140 in this particular 3-ball, but you won't have to deal with that juice. But give me Tommy Fleetwood over Adam Long and Doc Redman, round 1 3-ball. The lean, real quick, is Colin Morikawa over Sung J M at -110. Not an official play, but it is a lean for me.
My apologies for ruining your flow right there. You weren't quite done yet. So my apologies. By the way, if you're brand new to golf betting, A, listen to Sia, but B, watch the Early Wedge every single Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We go live, and it's the best golf information of any show out there. I'll put it up against anybody's. All right, Sia, thank you very much. Now, you're all screaming about hockey plays today. The regular season's coming to an end. We got one from the Ice Queen herself. A little bit under the weather today, but she still got up to give us this play. We're going to go Sharks, Oilers over 7. This is +105, so like the plus money. At least 7 goals have been scored in all 3 matchups this season. That's all I need to tell you. At least 7 goals in every matchup this season. Book it. Sharks, Oilers over 7. All right, AB. We tagged you in, but you are nothing less than a tag team champion of the world this morning for coming on short notice. What do you like today, big boy?
Yes, sir. All right. So, first off, look, Coach, there was a band called Leonard Skinner. I don't know if anybody's heard of them. All right. They had a song called Simple Man. Now, one, it was a great an entrance song for our man Danny Brasco in his MMA career. But number 2, right, that's how we're operating and living today. We've got 2 plays. First off, Wander Franco, the Rays, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Priced at -140, a little juicy, but look, in 50 at-bats against the Red Sox, he's hitting, 360 with 18 hits, 6 doubles, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs. And in the last 2 days against Boston, he's tallied 4 hits, 4 doubles, 3 RBIs, scored twice as well. This dude is a machine, and all we need is over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So we're going to ride that one. Now, number 2, in the chat, you always hear me say that the early edge crew is the best in the game, and that's by far. It's been proven over and over and over. But I want to highlight one person who is incredibly intelligent, and that is our man, Jay Peasy here.
Oh,
Ryan Mountcastle, 2 home runs and 3 at-bats versus Adam Aller of the Oakland Athletics. Exactly. We're going Ryan Mountcastle over 0.5 singles at -125. That's it. Simple man, simple play. All right. Working class play only. We need 1 single. That's all we need. Adam Mountcastle. He's exactly right. This dude has mashed against Oliver. Look, we don't need anything more. Just a single. We're not asking for a lot. Let's knock these 2 out. Crush it.
now if he hits a double, does that not count as a single?
Not. We do need a single. That being said, I'm counting on a single today. I think
We need one
especially,
single.
yeah, especially since our man kind of went, dude, he went rogue. I think he was 0 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
We're gonna play that rebound boomerang bet on this one.
Yeah, 2 nights ago, he had 9 RBIs for the Orioles. Last night, they couldn't really do anything. They lost 8-4. I love this play. Ryan Mountcastle. We'll be saying his name a lot, I have a feeling, in the prop market this year. All right. Now, when you successfully have a good Saturday, you've earned the maestro spot. So hang tight there, Danny Brasco, because your boy is going to step into the arena today. And I got 3, count them, 3 big plays. And I'll start following Sia into the golf world. This is a round 1 play. And it's a guy that we're very, very high on this week because this golf course at the RBC Heritage, it's all about target golf. Because if you're a bomber, that does not mean you have the advantage, maybe the disadvantage this week. So I'm going to take Russell Henley over Taylor Moore, -135. Taylor Moore just won a few weeks ago. But this is a course that you need to come to multiple times to figure out where to leave the ball, where to hit the ball. And I think today, to start things off, Russell Henley has the advantage from the first tee, so we'll take him -135. Then my other 2 plays kind of work together. Buckets, I know you're watching. This is how you do synergy correctly. I'm going to say Red Sox Rays over 8. The sportsbooks still think Corey Kluber is a top-shelf pitcher. He is not. He is 37 years old. The Red Sox and Rays will go over this number. Last night, they scored 16. My second play, Rays team total over 4.5. Now, I was going to try and do this like AB does it, where I emphasize a number, but I practiced and it sounded stupid. So I'm just going to tell you this. The last 10 games, all in the month of April, 9, 7, 1, 11, 9, 7, 10, 6, 5, 12. What does that translate to? 9 out of 10 games this month, all W's, they have gone north of 4.5. 90%. That is next level research right there. That's next level handicapping. America, you're welcome. Buckets, you're welcome. Now, with all that being said, we bring it back down. We bring the energy down just a little bit because that's how you do it when you're fighting. When you're in the locker room, ready to go, you kind of let it breathe. So Danny Brasco, after last week as Kelvin Gastelum ducked and weaved and just jabbed his way to a big-time W, where are we going this week, big boy?
Coach, we got to look at the main event right away. And how am I not going to take a look at Max Blessed Holloway, the 2nd greatest featherweight of all time, right behind Alexander Volkanovski? This is a great fight against Arnold Allan here in the main event. And Allan is a straight-up junkyard dog. So on first instinct, especially after a really sharp first round in his last fight against Calvin Kattar, I was feeling maybe he might bring the fight to Holloway here. But we left a lot of questions unanswered in that fight against Kattar because he blew his knee out in round 2. So Allan steps into this title eliminator here. I'm just seeing in my mind's eye Holloway throwing that backhand jab and peppering it through the guard of Allan for potentially 5 rounds. He's a strong wrestle boxer, but he stays a little bit square. And Holloway's so elusive with that movement, such great volume that I think he just throws that volume on him and pours it on him with calf kicks and jabs and straight 1-2s for 5 straight rounds. So at -180, I don't love it, but I'll play him on the decision prop at +175. I think Holloway gets it done and remains the 2nd greatest featherweight of all time. Other picks I'm looking at in the co-main event, Edson Jr. Barboza is a plus 150 underdog against Billy Quarantillo. I feel like the line is off on that. Look, Billy Q is a scrapper. He is not afraid of a barroom brawl, and he's going to pour on that forward pressure, wrestle boxer, get in your face, try to take you down. But he often eats a lot of damage on the way in, and Barboza is a sharp kickboxer, maybe one of the best kickers in UFC history. If he's kicking the body of Quarantillo, he's going to zap that battery. And I think he could land early damage to compromise Billy. So plus 150, I just feel like the line is way off. I got to look at Barboza. Even as a 37-year-old, I think he's got still some left in the tank. And finally, I like myself a little bit of Dustin Jacoby money line. This line was at minus 180. It's come down to 155, and I don't understand the movement. His opponent is Azamat Murzakanov, who is a dangerous striker himself, but he's looked a little shaky in 2 appearances against fighters that I rate well below Jacoby's level. He got wins in those fights, but he looked really slow. I think Jacoby's going to have a big speed advantage. I think, again, he'll be peppering the jab, the calf kick, the 1-2s down the middle, and Murzakinov's likely going to find himself on the wrong end of just too much volume. So with the speed advantage and just technically sound kickboxing, I think Jacoby gets back on track after losing a robbery split decision in his last one, picks up a nice win at minus 155. And finally, 2-leg parlay in the UFC, one of my more favorite bets. Bill Algeo on the money line combined with Chris Gutierrez. Algeo, low-key, I think I'm like a super fan of his. One of the most underrated featherweights. Very tricky, unorthodox striking, good Muay Thai clinch, tough, good fight IQ. And Chris Gutierrez, he's fighting Pedro Munoz, a legend in the bantamweight division. Gutierrez and Munoz do the same thing great, calf kicks. Munoz is known to beat up the legs of his opponents. Chris Gutierrez, however, must have baseball bats for shins. This guy destroys his opponent's legs. So it'll be a battle of the calf kicks, and I say Gutierrez wins it. And that's a nice little 2-leg plus 128 parlay for you guys.
Wow, I was really flowing with you right there. I was really feeling you until you gave me an EC special. However, when you give it out, it just feels different than when EC does it. I don't know. A couple of things from the chat. Big Cheesy says CBS HQ is a great show. Network. Great information. Yes. And coach surprised me.
There's that old compliment sandwich right there.
How about backhand you real quick? By the way, many of you are asking where I got the Henley. That is on DK, and I believe you already said Sia's where yours came from.
It's at a lot of books, but DraftKings and FanDuel for sure. It's at both.
Okay. Now, many of you are enjoying having buckets and AMAGs in the chat, so that makes several of you. I am not in that camp or in that category. Caesar says a UFC show would be golden. Danny, something to think about, right? All right. Remember, we appreciate all of you. Now, when you're writing in the chat, do it after you hit the like button. It's so incredibly important. And let me tell you this. And when I tell you this, I think I've proven that I deliver. There's never been a more important time for you to help us than right here, right now. That's all I can say. But we're growing, we're getting bigger, and we're about to explode because of you. That's all I can say. Now, with all that being said, and I swear, if Bucket's pick shows up on the recap screen, I'm going to lose my mind. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here, thank goodness. Here is, and this is a full show. The Counselor, one place so far, but as always, he's in the live market all the time. There's nobody better. Follow him on social media. You never know where you'll pick up some information or a pick. Fleetwood, minus 110 over Adam Long and Doc Redman. Then AB, Wander Franco, over 1.5 hits, runs RBIs. This is such a popular play. Now, I love that sportsbooks have done this, minus 140. Then Ryan Mountcastle, just give me one single. One single, we cash at minus 125. Then for me, 3 big plays. I'm going to attack the Rays until the Rays prove me wrong. Over 8, minus 110. I just didn't like the number on the spread. And somebody said in the chat, they're going to do all the work. They always do all the work right now. We just told you the numbers. Then I'm going to go Rays team total over 4.5. 9 out of their last 10 games, they've cashed this number. Then Russell Henley, round 1, minus 130 at DraftKings over Taylor Moore. Then the Ice Queen, sit in one place. Sharks, Oilers over 7. All 3 matchups this season have seen at least 7 goals. And then my man, Danny Brasco, bringing the MMA strong. And yes, we're going to grow with him too. Trust and believe that. Max Holloway by decision plus 175. Edson Barboza, moneyline plus 150. And Dustin Jacoby, moneyline minus 155. And then the EC special, Bill Algeo, Chris Gutierrez. Put them together. plus 128. And in MMA, it's a great way to bring numbers down because sometimes you see numbers minus 250, minus 300, higher than that all the time. Do not forget today, early edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. The counselor will be in the hosting chair for that as we continue to grind and grind for you. So with all of that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Counselor, Danny Brasco, AB, Snake, always behind the scenes doing the work. I am the coach. Turn on your notifications. Don't miss one single second of this content. We ride together every single day. It's what we're all about at the early edge. Good luck.